Please, Chinedu. I know I made a mistake, but look at your son. Have mercy. I'm so sorry, Ned. Please, look at me. Don't do this to us.
So this is where you ended up, he said quietly. Her lips trembled. Please, don't look at me like that. He took a deep breath, shaking his head slowly. You remember when you said I wasn't your type? When you left because I didn't have enough cars, enough flash? She couldn't answer. Every word from him pierced like a blade. I begged you, Regina, he said, voice thick. I begged you not to go, but you went. For what? He looked down at the crying baby, then back at her. I heard everything. Caleb ran away, right? The house wasn't even his? Rain drummed harder on the roof as silence swallowed them again. Finally, he whispered, You destroyed everything we built, but may God still have mercy on you. He turned back to his car. Regina reached out weakly. Ned, please. But he didn't stop. He entered the car and drove off slowly into the rain. She stood there, soaked, trembling, watching the red taillights fade until they vanished completely. Her knees gave way. She fell to the ground, clutching her baby, sobbing uncontrollably. Mommy Ngozi was right, she muttered through tears. Money is not everything. The baby cried louder. Before all the heartbreak and tears, Regina's life looked perfect, at least from the outside. She lived with her husband Ned in a small but tidy two-bedroom flat in Ikeja. They were the kind of couple neighbors greeted with admiration, respectful, quiet, always together. But behind the smiles, something was cracking. That Thursday morning, Regina stood before the mirror, fixing her braids. The early sun spilled through the curtains, lighting the room. Her reflection was flawless, smooth chocolate skin, full lips, and the kind of curves that drew attention anywhere she went. She looked like a woman who had everything. Except she didn't feel that way. Ned's voice came faintly from the sitting room. Babe, I'm heading out now. Don't forget to take your vitamins. Okay, she replied, but her tone was dry. He entered the room, already dressed for work. Clean shirt, black trousers, laptop bag on his shoulder. He leaned forward to kiss her cheek. She turned slightly. The kiss landed on her hair. He paused, noticing her distant mood. You okay? I'm fine, she lied. He smiled softly. All right, I'll call you during lunch. She waited until the door shut behind her, then sighed deeply. The moment the gate creaked and his car engine faded, her expression changed completely. Like a mask removed. She sat on the bed, staring at the dull walls, the brown curtains, the cheap fan humming overhead. Her eyes landed on the small TV stand where a cracked flower vase sat. She whispered to herself, Is this really my life? Her phone buzzed on the table. She picked it up lazily. A WhatsApp message from an unknown number. Guess who just bought a new car? She frowned. Who be this? It's me, Caleb. Her breath caught. That name. It hit her chest like a forgotten song. Regina. Wow, Caleb. Long time, oh. I'm back in Lagos. Big boy level now. You won't recognize me. Her thumb hovered over the keyboard, a smile slowly forming. Caleb Christ, the fine boy of sociology department, she murmured, almost laughing. It had been nearly 5 years since she had heard from him. The last time he had traveled to Port Harcourt to hustle and gone completely silent. She thought he had married someone else. But here he was, back with a new car and bold confidence.
That same evening, while Ned was watching the evening news, Regina sneaked into the kitchen, pretending to check something. She was actually on a voice call. Regina, Colin's voice came, smooth, confident. I've missed you, Di. I can't believe I'm hearing your voice again. You sound softer. Married life good for you, Abby. Regina chuckled awkwardly. It's okay, Jare. Life just ain't move. I've changed, he said. I'm not that broke hustler you knew back then. God dom bless me small. I even just bought one fine bungalow in Gorimpa. Her ears tingled. For real? You think I'm joking? I go send you pictures now, you'll see. Life's sweet when you get money, baby. He sent them. A spacious, beautifully furnished house with flower pots, flat-screen TV, marble floor, and 3 shiny cars parked outside. Regina's jaw fell open. Her heart started racing. 2 days later, he sent 200,000 naira, unprovoked. Just for your hair or shopping, the text read. Regina's mouth went dry. Ned, on the other hand, had recently promised her a car, later when business picks up. He was a decent man, hardworking, but not flashy. He didn't show off. He didn't buy things he couldn't afford, but to Regina, that now felt like lack of effort. So when Collins invited her over, come, see my new house, make you see say I know they lie, she didn't even hesitate. The day she went, she wore her best outfit, a tight red gown, heels, and gold hoop earrings. The Uber dropped her at a gate painted cream and gold, surrounded by blooming hibiscus. She stepped in and froze. The house was more beautiful in person. The floor glistened like water. The living room smelled of expensive perfume and leather. A giant chandelier hung from the ceiling. Collins, she called. He came out in a white polo and designer jeans, smiling proudly. Welcome to my world, baby. Regina's heart fluttered. He handed her juice. You see, say your boy Don Blow? I can't believe it, she whispered, eyes wide. You really did it. He laughed and led her around the house, showing the cars parked outside. A Lexus, a Camry, and a Benz. This one, he tapped a Lexus, now your own, if you just say yes. Say yes to what? She asked, half smiling. To leaving that flat you they call marriage and come back to me. Her laughter faltered. Collins, a beg, don't start. I'm serious. You deserve soft life. Look around. This house, these cars, everything I've got. All for the woman I love. Regina's chest tightened. Her phone buzzed. A message from Ned. Have you eaten? She didn't reply.
Collins touched her hand softly. Baby, I mean it. I still love you. She looked at him, and for a strange moment, her heart betrayed her reason. The glitter, the luxury, the promises, it all clouded her. Weeks passed. Collins kept calling, sweet talking, sending money. And slowly, Regina stopped finding peace at home. Ned would talk, and she'd tune out. When he reached for her, she'd move away. One night, she stood in the bathroom staring at a positive pregnancy test. Tears filled her eyes, not of joy, but confusion. Ned noticed her distance, but didn't understand. Babe, talk to me now. You've been quiet these days. She forced a smile. Nothing, I'm fine. Inside, her heart was torn between two worlds, loyalty and lust, peace and excitement. Then one fateful afternoon, she told Collins she was pregnant. He was silent for a while, then said, Ah, you sure it's Ned's zone? Of course. What do you mean? He chuckled lightly, then changed the topic. But later that night, Collins texted again. You know I can take care of you better than he can. Think I'm well. I fit give you life. That was the seed that grew into her worst mistake. A week later, she walked into a small clinic in Ikeja under the scorching sun. No wedding ring on her finger, no guilt in her face, just numbness. By evening, it was done. She went home pale and weak, telling Ned she had lost the pregnancy. Ned broke down in tears. God, why? He whispered. Regina looked away. The guilt stabbed her, but pride kept her quiet. 2 days later, while he was still grieving, she told him she was leaving. For what? He begged. Baby, please don't do this to me. I love you. I'll do anything. She said, I can't stay. We're not meant for each other. Ned's knees buckled. Regina, please. But she walked out, suitcase in hand. Her heart hardened. Meanwhile, Collins welcomed her with open arms. He kissed her forehead and said, "Welcome home, my queen." Regina smiled faintly. "You mean it?" He nodded, holding her waist. "From today, now you and me forever." And as she dropped her bag in the luxury bedroom, she thought she had finally arrived.
At first, everything seemed perfect. Regina woke up every morning to Collins humming in the bathroom, the smell of luxury perfume drifting through the air. The house echoed with soft Afro beats from his Bluetooth speaker. She'd step onto the balcony, sipping fruit juice, watching cars roll past the gated street. It felt like a dream, a fresh beginning. Collins bought her clothes, wigs, perfume. He called her Queen G. He told her stories of business trips, big contracts, and meetings with top people. She never asked too many questions. All she saw was the glitter, the marble tiles, the chandeliers, the cars in the compound. "Baby, this life not enjoyment, oh?" Collins would say, lounging shirtless on the couch. "All I need now you by my side." And she'd smile, pretending to believe it. But deep down, small cracks were forming. Collins always seemed anxious whenever the gate man called. Sometimes he'd disappear for days, then returned with excuses. One afternoon, as Regina cleaned the kitchen, a man came to deliver a bill. She looked at it. The name on it wasn't Collins. It read, Chief Olawale Adebayo. She frowned. "Who be that?" she asked Collins later. He laughed nervously. "Ah, that's my business partner's name. The property not joint venture between us." Regina shrugged it off, though unease prickled at her chest. Weeks rolled by. Regina found out she was pregnant again. The shock hit her like thunder. She sat on the edge of the bed, shaking. "Collins," she called softly, "I'm pregnant." He froze mid-laugh. "Wait, say that again?" "I'm pregnant," she repeated, voice trembling. He scratched his head, then forced a grin. "Ah, okay now, we go manage no wahala." But his eyes told another story, a story of panic. As months passed, Collins began to change. He snapped easily, shouted over small things. The transfers stopped. He said business was slow. Regina's phone buzzed less often with alerts. The kitchen grew emptier. She started cooking noodles instead of rice and stew. When she asked about the cars, he always had a reason why they couldn't go out. Fuel scarcity. Taya no good. Oga karidiki. Wait, Oga? The word slipped out one evening while he was distracted. Regina's head snapped up. Which Oga? He paused, then waved it off. "Ah, that's my business partner. You know I manage one company for him." She nodded slowly, unease gnawing at her heart. Then came that Saturday afternoon that changed everything. It was around 3 p.m. Regina was sitting in the living room eating mango slices, her baby bump showing. Collins was pacing back and forth, phone in hand, sweating profusely. "Collins, what's wrong with you?" she asked. He didn't answer. He just kept glancing at the gate like a man waiting for judgment. Suddenly, a car horn blared outside, loud and impatient. "Pa, pa, pa." "Who's that?" Regina asked. He froze. His hands trembled. "Oh God, he's back." "Who is back?" "My Oga, Chief Don come back." Regina blinked in confusion. "Wait, Oga? Which Oga? What are you saying?" Before she could process it, Collins dashed around the house, gathering clothes, shoving them into a bag. "Regina, hide. Please, just go inside. Hide somewhere, a beg." "Hide where? Collins, what's happening?" "A beg mo ax question now. The man go kill me if he see woman here. Just hide for room." At that moment, the gate shook violently. The horn stopped, replaced by loud banging and a furious voice shouting, "Open this gate before I break it down." Regina's hands went cold. Collins rushed to open it, sweating like rain. The gate swung open, and there stood Chief Olawale, a tall, pot-bellied man in Agbada, face dark with anger. Behind him was a driver and a woman carrying a baby. "Chief,"
Collins, what nonsense is this? You break into my house while I'm away? You dey mad? Regina stood frozen in the corridor, watching. Chief's eyes caught her. Who's that? Collins stammered. Sir, she's my... You're what? Chief roared. You bring woman into my house, you useless boy? Before Collins could explain, Chief slapped him hard across the face. The sound echoed like thunder. Pack your nonsense and leave here before I call police, Chief thundered. Regina's world stopped spinning. She looked around at the luxury she thought was hers and realized none of it belonged to Collins. Not the house, not the cars, not even the clothes. Her stomach twisted. Shame burned her throat. Collins, you mean this is not your house? She whispered, voice trembling. He avoided her eyes. Regina, please, I go explain later. Explain what? You lied to me. You made me kill my baby. You made me leave a man who loved me. You used lies to destroy everything I had. He covered his face. I just wanted you back. I wanted to impress you. I thought maybe if you saw me with money, you'd love me again. Regina laughed bitterly, her voice shaking. Now see where we are. Broke, homeless, and hopeless. Outside, the city hummed,